Here's a great story from yesterday, the 28th of April 2025 on RTE. Man avoids jail over attempted child abduction, ordered to leave the country. Now, I know what you're going to say. This is awful, this is terrible. How can a bloke who tries to abduct a child, because think about it, at the best case scenario there, what does a man want with a child? Why would he abduct a child, you might ask? Well, there's no nice answer, is there? Best case scenario, you're looking at something a bit diddly, and worst case scenario, something a little bit Huntley or Hindley or something even worse. So it's a bit weird that he avoids jail entirely. Why do we think that might be? Well, I mean, it looks like that. Maybe that plays a role. I mean, it is Ireland in 2025. They've gone conquer deep into the woke tomfoolery, haven't they? Our friends across the Irish Sea. But there is a silver lining to this story, ladies and gentlemen. There is a silver lining because he might have, not actually been punished like he should have been, but at least he's been exiled from the nation, okay? And another silver lining, which will delight all of the very chippy Irish people, he's probably now en route to Bradford. Okay, this is a great story. I'm sure the chippy Irish will be loving that. I guarantee he'll be living in a council house in Yorkshire faster than you can say, "Welcome, diddlers." The story is outrageous, absolutely ludicrous. I couldn't believe what I was reading here when my old pal Ragnar sent me this one. The story reads, a 26-year-old student. How about a 26-year-old prospective diddler or child killer? Anyway, we'll just leave it at student. It sounds nicer after all. And he is oppressed and he's on the victim pyramid, so therefore definitely didn't do anything wrong, really. He said he pleaded guilty to the attempted abduction of a 5-year-old child in Dublin last year, and he's avoided jail and been given 2 weeks to leave the country instead. Really? Is that what the Irish politicians are doing now? That most contemptible of creature, the politician, who cares only about coin? This has become known throughout the centuries. They don't care about blood. They don't care about dead children. They don't care about the harms that happen to women and children, the most vulnerable people in society. All they care about is coin. They are contemptible creatures. The only possible reason you've got to let off a man who abducts children is because you've sat there and went, oh yeah, but it costs money to jail them. Might as well just send him to Bradford. Nice one. Visak Rajesh Leela. Well, we can't be using names like that. We'll just call him Jimmy O'Leary. That sounds much more palatable for Google and YouTube. Jimmy O'Leary, who lived in South Dublin for a little bit, so he's therefore more Irish than Martin McGuinness. He's originally from India, but now he's definitely Irish because his toenail touched the pavement in Kilkenny once, so therefore he's definitely Irish. And he was given a 3-year suspended sentence at Dublin Circuit Criminal Court. And the judge, ladies and gentlemen, I shit you not, you don't have to polish your eyeballs, I'm reading this verbatim. The judge, Martin Nolan, said this was an unusual case and he concluded that Leela was definitely not a danger to children. Yeah, that's right. That's right. People who abduct children are definitely not a danger to children. Yeah. And standing in a bucket of water, covering your bell end in tinfoil and jamming it into the power mains isn't any danger of electrocution. None. Paddy O'Leary had been in Ireland for 10 months at the time of the attempted abduction, with a plan to stay on to complete a master's qualification. Oh, he's a splendid fellow. The 26-year-old said he was intoxicated at the time and a 2-minute mistake had ruined his life. Okay, yeah. They're really going to bat for him, aren't they? RTE. Really going to bat for him. Let me tell you, Ireland is a place where people like to get pissed. I've been pissed thousands of times, and at no point have I ever tried to abduct a 5-year-old child. So therefore, I think it's a bit of a stretch when they tell someone like me that I can't blame the drink for going for a drive or saying something stupid. But RTE and the Irish legal system is perfectly happy with Mr. O'Leary blaming the drink for him wanting to abduct a 5-year-old. Weird how that seems to make sense to them when he's making the argument. I wonder why they'll buy his side of events. But if I get pissed and go for a drive, I'm contemptible scum and I should get 10 years in prison for it. I mean, I agree. You should jail drink drivers. Is it a stretch to suggest that maybe You should jail people that try to bugger 5-year-olds to death for a very, 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 very long time. Am I just being completely unreasonable there? Dublin Criminal Courts was told that Paddy O'Leary had been attending a party and he had 4 drinks. Absolute lightweight. A whiskey and 3 shots of Jägermeister. When he was leaving at 9 p.m, he met 2 young children playing outside the apartment block. The brother and sister then went inside. Leela signalled at the youngest child, age 5, to let him in and ran after him. On CCTV footage, he can be seen holding the boy towards the door as the child tries to wrestle free. Miss McGowan said the footage shows him pushing the boy through the door and outside, and the court heard the boy's very quick thinking older sister ran out and pushed Leela, causing him to fall into the bushes. The 2 children managed to flee and he left the scene. The children's parents immediately notified security at the apartment complex and the Rozzers were alerted, and his defence counsel said he'd made full admissions and never disputed the facts. So there we go. Brilliant, that, innit? If you go to abduct a 5-year-old, you get let off with a slapped wrist and you get a council house in Yorkshire. That's what I'm getting from that story. If you aren't getting something like that from that story, please tell me what you think was on his mind at the time of the event. That after 4 drinks, you suddenly become a gibbering sex offender, and that makes loads of sense. So you should let him off with a slap wrist and promptly let him loose on another Western country, because they've banned him from Ireland for 10 years, but they haven't really punished him. So A, he might be back in 11, and B, he's going to be a massive pain up the arse, literally, possibly literally, in England or Scotland or Wales or wherever this sack of rats ends up next, because he's not going to go home, is he? Dare I suggest they have a more sensible approach to diddlers in his home country, because they end up getting the good news, don't they, off an angry mob, as opposed to what we'll do, which will be put him up in a council house at your expense. Nice one. Love that story. Filled me with the joys of spring today, that did. If you think Ireland did the right thing, isn't a soft touch and a sick joke of a country at this point, please let me know in the comments, because I love reading the ramblings of maniacs every day. It fills me with joy. Also, if you're in Yorkshire or the Midlands and he ends up moving in next door to you, please let me know and I'll come and interview him. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Toodle pip. Cheers.